thought a lot about how my very first episode should start, and yeah, I was confused. I didn't want it to sound curated or scripted. So, hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Hot Brew Cold Truth, where we brew our thoughts slowly and serve them honestly. This is your co host, Lavi. So, we are going to have a nice, cute ritual where we discuss the hot take of the week. I actually took the inspiration from my very, very favorite podcast, The Matcha Diaries, and I just love them. Their vibe is so calm, and what they say, it's I just love their friendship also. So yeah, go check that podcast out too. My hot take this week is some people never change. And honestly, it's okay to stop waiting for them. Like just yesterday, I woke up to a message from someone I used to be super close to. I read it, and the only thing I felt was, wow, wow, as expected. And, and that's when it hit me. Don't worry, and not anger or sadness, just clarity. Because at some point, waiting for people just turns into betraying ourselves, and I don't want to do that. Because come on, be honest, it's not our duty to teach these grown people, these grown adults, how to be kind, how to treat someone. And it's definitely not our responsibility to stay in that friendship, that relationship, or whatever that is, just because once we used to care. Honestly, it was almost funny because I realized I've already outgrown this, and I'm so proud of myself. And I'm okay with it. And if you're listening to this podcast and feeling guilty for moving on from someone, please, please just know this. Outgrowing people doesn't make you cold. It just makes you self aware, and it's totally okay. You can walk away and you can be happy with that. You're not supposed to stay with people, right? Oh, that was hot. The coffee, of course. So today's episode is going to be very light, very chill, very first date energy. And instead of me just talking at you, we are going to do something fun. A few questions. So think of this as chai pe charcha, but make it coffee. So the very first question is, why hot brew cold truth? Well, it's simple. Hot brew cold truth. The name itself, it matches me. If you know me in real life, you'll be able to observe this. The name just matches me. I'm warm, energetic, and sweet, but at the same time, I'm not clueless, and I am logical. The way I think, the things that go in my mind, the the values or the rules that I have for myself, they're totally in contrast with my personality, the thing that people can see on the outside. Because being soft doesn't mean that I don't think logically or I don't have any opinions. And I really hate how people always get boxed into the stereotypes that this type of people behave this way. These people behave like, no, we are human beings and we are complex creatures, and this space is for being emotionally aware, educated, opinionated, and we can talk about anything from mental health to money, career, politics, the systems. Why? Because soft and sharp can coexist. And hot brew cold truth is all about that. Okay, so yeah, moving on to the next question. Why coffee, not chai? Oh my god. If you're Indian, you know chai is a love language. I mean, wake up, chai. Um, Take a bath, chai. People drink chai. It's literally an addiction at this point, and I'm sorry, I do not speak that language. I literally can't. And I tried it once, okay? I tried it. It doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I don't drink it. But lemon tea, green tea works for me. It works. It works. I like it. So yeah, and coffee is my forever love. I just love it a lot. But at the same time, you can bring your chai, you can sip it, because we don't do hate here. So I can be drinking coffee, you can be drinking chai, and no one will judge because we listen and we don't judge. Moving on to the next question. What's one truth you avoided for the longest time but couldn't anymore? Well, very easy. It's literally what I'm doing right now. And it's that you cannot sit in comfort and expect extraordinary things to happen to you. I believe, I know actually, I played it safe for many years. I made choices so that I could stay comfortable and I could feel nice. And then when I did not achieve the results that I'm supposed to, and I also knew in the back of my mind that I'm not going out of my comfort zone, I would blame other external things for my behavior of not trying to get out of the comfort zone, which is so wrong. And all of a sudden, the weight of being average, it just started to feel so heavy. And I guess that's what that force, it changed me. And I mean, I still sometimes do think naturally. It just comes to me naturally to do something, to make decisions that will make me stay in a comfortable space. But right now, I'm actively rewiring my brain and trying to choose growth over comfort. And this podcast is the very example. Also, I would like to tell you guys another thing. I actually had recorded this podcast 2 weeks back and I was fully ready to launch it today. And just for the context, while I was recording it and editing it, it was perfect, okay? Everything was very perfect. I exported it, and since I had listened to the recording, the final recording, while I was editing it, I knew there's like no loopholes in the recording, right? And then today, I'm so excited. I'm all ready to, post it. I see it, and there's this robotic hissing sound throughout the whole podcast. The full 25 minutes, you can hear a hissing sound. And that, oh my god, I didn't want to record this episode again, and I have actually already posted it on Spotify and YouTube, but I didn't send it to anyone. And I knew why, because that hissing sound, it's not perfect. And if I wanted to, right now, I could have just done something else, but I want to try my best. I don't want to be lazy anymore. I don't want to procrastinate things. I want to get out of my comfort zone, jump out of the lake and go into the ocean. So, yeah, that's why we are here today. Moving on to the next question. Is this podcast more for the world or for the version of you that needed it earlier? Ooh, well, honestly, both. Because when I was lost and confused when I was a teenager, I did have many resources and I was able to learn about things that shaped my perspective. Now, I learned about emotional intelligence, gratitude, self awareness, and whatnot. But at the same time, I think I missed out on real world conversations, money, career, how real life actually works. And sometimes I feel just listening to people or watching content, it's not enough. We need to actually get into the war zone. And that's how we are going to learn from our mistakes and we are going to, have wisdom. And I missed out on that because I was, again, so busy in my own little lovely cocoon. But this podcast, at the same time, it's also for that version of me and also for people who feel lost, but at the same time, they are curious and they want to know the truth of the world. They want to grow with me. So basically, this is for someone who wants a voice of truth and comfort at the same time. Moving on to the next question. What kind of conversations are not welcome here? Easy, very easy. Gossip, toxic positivity, putting people down. Never, never. Oh my god. The first year college student version of me would have laughed and even pretended to judge that person just because I was trying to fit in. But man, no, that is not me. And right now, I've learned it and I just say no. I don't want to judge them. So, yeah, I'm happy about it. Also, we are not going to entertain सब ठीक हो जाएगा because no, सब ठीक नहीं होगा unless you take some action, right? This is a respectful, thoughtful, and honest space. We are not going to entertain any type of, wrong stuff here. It's a soft and it's a truthful place. So, yeah. Moving on to the next question. What's a very desi girl problem you've realized is actually a mindset issue? The constant questioning of, am I asking for too much? Am I being too rude or too quiet? The basic outfit anxiety. Should I wear this or that? Is this appropriate enough? Is this not? Is this showing my skin too much? Is this hiding too much? And the fear of what the aunties are going to think if I'm eating more, if I'm eating too less. Because literally, it's a two-sided sword, right? If we eat too much, they're going to be like, oh my god, you're getting fat, eat less. And if we eat too little, they're going to start saying, oh my god, are you doing a diet? Or oh my god, you're so thin. God, yeah. And then makeup. I feel like we as women, we are always trying to adjust, always calculating, and it's just too much on our brain. We should be doing better things than to always overthinking every step or overthinking every thought that comes into our mind. I've just realized that most of these lives that we live are in our head, and I'm done with it, and I want to not do it anymore, and I want to change my mindset. Moving on to the next question. What's something you unlearned recently that felt illegal to unlearn? Well, that would be respect is a two-way gate, right? You cannot expect respect from me if you're not giving that too. And I actually learned this from my brother because younger siblings. I've realized that the way we treat our younger siblings, they are going to treat us the same way back. And since me from childhood, I used to always roast him, poke him. Right now, he's doing the same thing to me. I mean, he respects me and I respect him too. I'm just telling you, this is also applicable to adults most of the time. We are always told to respect them just because of their age. I think respect should come from within, it should come from heart. And respect should not be seen from someone's status, caste, religion, creed, whatever. It should be seen from their actions. And being small, kind, obedient is not an achievement. It's not a medal. Being a good girl is not a medal. And I think that's what the society has fed us. Ki, yeah, be a good girl and then your life will be set. Actually, no. Being a good girl is literally not going to take you anywhere. So just do what you like, do what you think is right, and make your decisions for yourself. Take space. You're allowed to take space, literally. Moving on to the next question. Are you healing, hustling, or just trying to survive right now? To be honest, to be very honest, you know what? I'm healing. I know. And it's just that saying just surviving is going to sound more relatable. Just think about it. Me saying, oh my god, no, guys, right now I'm just trying to survive. Every day I wake up and all I'm thinking about is how am I going to survive, how am I going to go through this day, and I'm just going with the flow of life. That I don't want to lie to you guys, and I'm done with my people pleasing phase, because I think a new type of trend or mindset we people have is, if someone else is sad or someone else is depressed, you are actually not depressed, you're doing very well in life. But we also with them will start saying, oh my god, yeah, I'm depressed, or oh my god, life sucks. I just don't like complaining about my life. I do it sometimes too, obviously I'm a human being, but I'm not going to do it every day, every minute, every second of my life. So, yeah, that's my truth right now. And I am going to be healing and taking steps that would lead me to live a more peaceful, a more productive, a more happy life. And one of our new upcoming episode is also going to touch a similar topic. So, yeah, I'm excited about it too. Moving on to the next question. What does growth not look like for you anymore? Well, for growth, I would say destroying mental and physical health for exams or things that I don't even care about. That's not growth for me. I don't want to do it. If I don't like something, I'm not going to mess up my everything. What I think is, when you really love something and you really care about something, you'll literally work your ass off, and you'll work endlessly, you'll work relentlessly without any resentment. And that's what I actually even do. And when there are things that I actually don't care about that much, and they are not that important in my life, but they are important, well, the rule is simple. I study sincerely, and I try to study a bit prior, thoda jaldi, without losing myself. Because the more we hate something, the more you're going to start not wanting to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then you'll be forcing yourself to do it. And the whole cycle is vicious and it's not good. And then comes our very last question. If someone listens to this podcast for a year, what do you secretly hope changes for them? Oh my god, this is such a nice question. Well, I hope everyone who is listening to my podcast, I hope all of you rediscover lots of softness, whimsy, lightness in themselves. I hope you start seeing beauty in small things, love in existence. There's just so much love, and there's just so much peace in just existing, right? At the same time, I hope that you're also aware, informed, and you know about the basic things. You don't feel dumb anymore, because I don't think it's the same for men, but for women at least, there are many topics that we are kept out of because they think we are too sensitive, too soft for all those topics. But I hope you also learn to hold the uncomfortable truths, and we let everyone know that we can do it too, right? And I really, really hope that all of you guys and me myself, we learn to balance this softness while holding on to the truths, the, not so aesthetic parts of the world. And while having knowledge on topics people don't expect us to have. That's all I wish for. And I wish you all guys get lots of happiness, success, and prosperity in your lives. And yeah, that's all for my very first episode for Hot Brew Cold Truth. If you stayed till here, thank you. Truly, it means more than you think. In the next episode, we are going to talk about something very familiar yet rarely questioned, something that sits quietly in our everyday lives. So, if you have ever felt something and didn't feel that you have words for it, that's one for us. Until next time, chai ho ya coffee, sip something warm, Think a little deeper and don't be afraid of the cold truths. Lots of love, love you.